The king is about to be dead. Long live the guy who will be king in about a month. And we have some stuff to discuss there in just a second. I've noticed a few things. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Crusader Kings III in our Empire of Albion series. Donald has had a rough, wait for his ascent to the throne. He's 50, and I just noticed as I was loading up this save, a couple of things have developed. First of all, remember during the last episode, we're currently plotting to kill his adulterous wife, who's in prison, under house arrest specifically. But Donald is now a drunkard. He's known as a familial kinslayer, because remember, he murdered the son of the man who Constantine's wife cheated on him with. So we're just trying to do right by him by murdering his wife. We'll see how that goes. He's a comfort eater, and he's improvident. So he's really taken on some negative traits in the latter years of his life. This is going to be a very entertaining switch here, because Constantine has been a solid ruler for his entire life. He's arbitrary, for sure. And by the way, remember, so is Donald. But this is going to be a bumpy ride for the next episode or two, I would imagine, because Donald doesn't look like he's in good shape. We might be able to kind of pull ourselves together in the latter years of his life. He is an excellent in terms of his stats, he's got a lot going for him, but this is going to be a challenge. He also has a lot of kids. We're going to have to get to know his family as soon as he ascends to the throne, because we really don't know Constantine's grandkids very well. So let's go to speed 3 and let some additional events sort of transpire. Oh wow, immediately, as soon as I unpaused. It has proven difficult to gain access to Duchess Ermenberg during her house arrest. However, my agents have found an old servant from the court of Islay willing to pose as a friend of Ermenberg's having come to visit. Arm the servant and send her on her way. So 95% chance she's killed, 5% chance the scheme is discovered. Duchess Ermenberg is dead. As planned, the servant gained access to her chambers, no doubt to her great confusion. Of course, the confusion must have passed once the servant unsheathed her dagger. Ermenberg did not last long. The servant slipped out again and was long gone before the body was even discovered. No one knows of my involvement. As easy as a friendly visit. Okay, well that problem was solved. Let's see if we can arrange for Donald to, be married to someone that's not going to betray his trust. I'm just going to stop marrying lustful characters for a bit. We want Donald to be happy. So let's once again, first of all, let's go for healthy. Let's go for young, because there's always the possibility that one of the kids that is on the docket, so to speak, for succession after Donald, because Donald, we're not going to have him for as long as we had Constantine I. One of the best things that we can do is have a child that would be ideal to ascend the throne and be of age, 16, 17 years old, right as Donald is on his way out. So that would be one of the younger kids that's already alive, or a newborn child that hasn't actually been born and raised yet. So also, there's just the benefit of being able to raise the child, as opposed to the characters we've had so far. We haven't interacted with Donald's kids at all. So again, we'll be getting to know them before long. Let's see, sexuality, let's go heterosexual just to maximize chance of kids. Let's go with female. Let's go with, we're not going to worry about age difference. We'll leave adult at all, just in case there's someone who's about to come of age. That would be ideal. We're particularly going to look at traits. So yeah, inheritable traits. Now, alliance power is one thing, but I don't particularly feel like I need high alliance power. I'd rather have good sum of all skills. So there's Tiburg. She's a bastard child, but she's quick, and so that's a good congenital trait to kind of bring into the fold. There's Isabel, still 12, Yaroslava, who's 12. So mostly kids. There's also Barbara, but she's chaste. Beautiful, but chaste. And currently pregnant, so that's a no. That's what that is. That's a no. We're going to try to minimize drama for Donald's ascent to the throne. Look, he's already turning gray. I hope we can get rid of the drunkard trait. I don't remember how easy it is to do that, but we might be able to. We'll see. I think it's possible. I think a random event can fire. I don't know if it's something that I can steer, but we'll figure that out. No need to explain. That's something that may or may not happen, and will be a fun part of the narrative, regardless of kind of what develops. So let's go with Tiburg. She's a rapacious antagonist. She's greedy, calm, vengeful, tough soldier, flexible leader, but she's quick. And she's not lustful. So with any luck, it's that quick trait that I really want to bring into the fold and start reinforcing a bit. So let's go ahead and send that proposal. Maybe not the best choice, but I'm looking at the fact that Donald is not going to be an amazing king. Wow. That's 2 events in quick succession that, like, as soon as I unpause after some commentary, major things happen. King Constantine II of Alba has passed on at 70 years of age. He died of old age. Known to be a respected scholar, he spent most of his days studying in his library, rarely leaving his castle. Yeah, we know. Touch grass, Constantine. King Donald ascends to the throne, a gentle and compassionate soul. The vassals will surely thrive under Donald's reign. Continue as King Donald II. Heck yeah, let's go. All right, so first things first. We have a lot to do. Let's make sure that our court artifacts are set up. This is displayed. That's displayed. Anything? No, there's nothing we need to change in the court. I wonder why there was a pop-up there that told me to come to the court, because there doesn't appear to be much that I can do at the moment with that. Okay, we have to set up a new council. Our Archbishop, is awesome, but everyone else kind of needs to be chosen. So let's see. I'm going to go with generally the best players that I can across the board. So Reeve Ainhair is my new Chancellor. Sheriff Sturla is my new Steward. Earl Haston is my new Marshal. Their opinion is still quite low of me, which is interesting. And my Spy Master will be Reeve Elfwick. Now, his opinion of me looks quite good, which it seems like I might need that for a bit. I am going to set my Chancellor's task to domestic affairs, which will help raise... It'll lower my prestige per month, unfortunately, but it will raise my vassal's opinion of me. And we're, of course, still in the Earldom of North Riding with our Marshal. And we're still developing in the Martyrdom of Lothian, which I'll let that task sit as well. Now, I do need to check my domain limit here, so let's see if we can hand out some titles. There's a lot of territory that we directly control that we've controlled for a while, and I want to keep it that way. It looks like I need to give these titles away, though. Donald has held these for most of his life. We're going to stay paused for a minute because we do have to get to know Donald's family a good bit. So... Also, didn't I just arrange a marriage for you to Tiburg? Hang on, let's see what happens. If I unpause for just a few days, does this go through, or do I... Shadow of Fame, Twilight. Okay, I don't know if the marriage went through because Constantine died, so I might have to go ahead and kind of give that order again. There are whispers about the tales and deeds of my father, disgraced King Constantine, everywhere I go. Near or far, it seems there is nobody who has not heard his name. I wonder, will I always stay in the shadow of my father? Or will I be able to achieve as much fame in my life as him? How high will I be able to climb? You gain Shadow of Fame, Twilight. So more stress gain, but more monthly prestige, which is pretty interesting. We went from +9 to +9.6. All right. This is interesting. Like, Tiburg, in terms of stats and in terms of, you know, the potential to give us a new child that we can raise while Donald is king and potentially groom for the throne, the potential there is good. But she's not a great character, and she's also lowborn. So that's not ideal. The only other characters that match my current criteria... Hang on, let's change the upper limit to 35. Okay, so Kotislava is chaste. So at this particular moment in time, that won't do. Yeah, the only other characters that match the criteria are a lot younger, so we'd have to wait a couple of years for that to happen. However, we could have a like father, like son moment and see if potentially one of the younger brides-to-be has a ward. And if not, we could make sure that her personality doesn't develop into something that's going to be a problem for Donal later on down the road. But I don't know if necessarily we need to do that 2 kings in a row. So Yaroslava is comely, so she has extra fertility, extra attraction opinion, higher diplomacy. There's also Eusebia, who is quick. There's Ben Lygan, who is quick. Interesting. Aruk is lowborn and robust, but also chaste. Livia is... Oh, wow. What happened to you? I mean, she's blind, irritable, so... It would be interesting to look at this character's... Yeah, there's not a memory under this character's kind of file for how she got hurt. That's interesting. I wonder how she lost her sight. Anyway. I think I'm leaning towards one of the younger options and waiting a few years. We could bring the quick trait into the fold. Ben Lygan is a rational empath. She's compassionate. She's impatient. But she's quick. Good stats. She's unlanded, but she does come from a noble house, House Neil. Okay. Let's arrange for that marriage. We're going to send a proposal. This will actually result in a prestige gain for Donal, which is good. Now, there are a number of things I can do to further his prestige gain and make him kind of cement his place on the throne early on. I've been talking about this for several episodes, and we finally get to do it, which is why we're going to be paused for a minute here. But let's see. No lifestyle chosen. I think stewardship may actually be the best way to go. We could totally go with diplomacy, but because his stewardship stat is pretty low, it seems like that is going to be one of the things that is ideal. And there's nothing we can choose stewardship-wise that would improve fertility, though. So this would improve monthly income, improve stewardship, and then we would work towards one of these 3 perks. So we have Avaricious, which increases holding taxes. We have Architect, which is better for building. And we have Administrator, which is better for a couple of stats, and also Vassal Opinion. We could also do what we did with Constantine and go the learning route, which, to be honest, I'm kind of tempted to do. I'm kind of tempted to go with a scholarship focus so that we have more development growth and continue to have a prosperous realm sooner. We've been sort of building towards that the entire game so far, and now that Donal's king, I want to keep... We're gonna keep going where Constantine started. Let's select learning. So now... Oh, it does look like he's moved his way. He has the Patriarch trait already. So that's good. So extra fertility, prestige, more stress loss, close family opinion, house opinion, levy size. That's all good. He's quite close to earning the August perk, which makes me think that I didn't realize how close he was. I should have seen how far down these trees he had moved on his own. So we've unlocked a diplomacy perk, basically. Opinion gain from Send Gift, that's interesting. So we've already gained Patriarch. Level of Fame Impact, or Diplomacy per level of Fame. Let's go with Level of Fame Impact, a Life of Glory. So for each level of fame that he has, basically there will be more of a difference made in terms of people's opinion of him. Okay, so Sum of all skills. Let's hand out some of these titles. We do need to get to know his family relatively soon, and I saw... Let's actually sort by relevance. At the very top of the list under relevance is player, heir, and son. Doesn't look like he's a particularly respectable guy. He's ambitious, he's arbitrary, he's shy. He's an astute intellectual, like his grandfather. Prince Bertha, or Princess Bertha, was his mother. And he's currently the heir to the throne in terms of who has the most votes. Now that Donald's king, I think the elective, like the tanistry aspect of things, which is the voting that we've been doing for the entire series, or that's been going on behind the scenes, I think the likelihood has just gone extremely high that we're going to have a lot more voting back and forth and like the air changing again, just like it did in the first couple of episodes of the series before Donald started becoming awesome and having the votes sort of coalesce behind him. Okay, so we have too many held duchies as well, interestingly enough, so we have to hand these out. Oh, this is tough. So I'm going to go ahead and give these to the kid. We were the Duke of the Isles. I'm going to hand that out. That'll help with people's opinion of me. That is the player heir, so that'll help him sort of gain some experience. Now, there are titles that can be usurped and titles that can be created. I'm going to create all of these because there's a prestige bonus to doing that. It does look like this is not something I'm going to be able to do all at once. We can create the Duchy of Connacht over in Ireland. I think that's or the Duchy of Munster for that matter. You know what, just for old time's sake, because Ireland is Newbie Island in Crusader Kings, especially in Crusader Kings II lore, and Munster is often the first duchy a lot of new players create. Let's create that one first, as Donald. It's a bit of a meta thing to do, but it's fine. All right, now I'm not going to do another one just yet, but we just got a huge prestige boost for doing that, and we will have to hand out this title. So let's take a look at who the rulers of Munster are and see if one is... Oh, wow. Earl Frithriker is looking like a good candidate. And is he currently ruler of all the... He is. Okay, well, in that case, let's give him the Petty Kingdom. Grant titles. There we go. So I'm already seeing some better opinion numbers for Donald out of the gate. We have indulge in drink, indulge in food, attempt suicide, adopt special succession to... Wow. 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 Alright, so I do want to convert to the local culture. This is going to cost 500 prestige. It doesn't reduce my level of fame, but it'll cost 500 prestige. And let's go ahead and do that. So we're Anglo-Saxon. And it looks like the prince, our heir to the throne, just took our place as culture head. We'll worry about that a little bit later on. Now that I've selected the council, we also need to take a look at characters that we have imprisoned. Is there anyone that we can imprison, or that we can ransom for gold? No. Court positions, we have a excellent court physician. We have a good antiquarian, an excellent caravan master, good wet nurse. So these are the court positions that Constantine appointed, mostly still in place. It's good to see. So, as far as Donald's kids, he has 7 altogether. His firstborn child is already married to this particular vassal, an Athol. And then next kid after that is the prince. All the kids have a really good opinion of me, which is good. Princess Catriona is a bold empath. She's unlanded but married to an unlanded character. That's interesting. Oh, she's betrothed. Let's break that betrothal. We're going to spend some prestige to do that, but we're going to break that, because if we can actually secure an alliance with that, that will ensure that we have a more solid kind of hold on the throne. So let's see what else we can do. Princess Cummin is 17, so she's of age, but she's not married. Oh wait, hold on, what's this? She's a confider. Princess Afrake, also not betrothed or married. She's not of age. So we see the comely trait for a couple of the kids. That's good to see. and Prince Constantine. So Constantine Donaldson of Scotland is 11 years old. So pretty good character so far. He's comely, so handsome dude. He's ambitious, compassionate, fickle, and pensive. And then Prince Donaldson of Scotland is 2. So we already are raising this child directly. The computer did that without me having to tell it to, which is pretty cool. Who else are we raising? Yeah, so the 2 boys. The computer has already kind of selected those. We have to nominate a successor. Who has the most votes? Yeah, let's go ahead and vote just so that there's a little bit of unity behind the new heir. Let's vote for the firstborn son. Not that he'll necessarily be the king when all's said and done, but we need to make sure that we have some stability here. Okay, family members can get married. First and foremost, let's go ahead and see what we can do here. All... Come on. Come on. There we go. Sometimes clicking on the menu items on these filters does not register right away. God knows why. It's been that way for several versions. Right. We're not going to worry about traits for this particular type of marriage. We're also not going to worry about sexuality in this case, because this is a marriage primarily for alliance. We're also not going to worry about fertility, or health for that matter. Well, yeah, health we will worry about. So let's now sort by alliance power and see what we can lock down. Because right now, Donald has an alliance with Strathclyde, an alliance with Duke Lonan of the Isle of Man, with Prince Daniel, and with Athol. And that's because of the marriage that we've already noticed. One of his daughters is married. So, right out of the gate, this young man, Mudrick, the Duchy of Barcelona. Interesting. Hang on. Yeah, I had to check that just because of the proximity of that name to Barcelona. That's throwing me off a little bit. Anyway, there's probably an association there that I'm not familiar with, but that's still in France, technically, that particular duchy, so not sure. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about this particular vassal. At all. But let's see what we can do. So, Catriona, if we sort by alliance power purely and arrange for this alliance, it's going to be some years before they can actually get married, but that would be a solid alliance to have in case we were declared on by anyone, whether it's the Northmen or anyone else. So let's send the proposal. And then you are of age and ready to marriage ready to marriage as well. Potential alliance. Duke Bernat II. Interesting. So this character has almost 3,000 men to their name, but everyone at the top of the list here in terms of alliance power, it looks like basically all the kids have gotten married, essentially, and so the only ones that are available are the ones that have recently been born, which is unfortunate. But I think what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go for the biggest numbers. I'm going to arrange alliances that are going to give me the most allied troops in a war as soon as possible, because we might need it. We might have a rebellion in a bit. Let's go ahead and hold court. First time as king. Here, petitioners. A new arrival to my court today is one Aba, an envoy from my acquaintance, King Alfred of Wessex. King Donald, it has come to the attention of my liege that you are harboring an individual of particular interest. Gloikin, I suppose, or Glokin, has legitimate claim to the earldom of Devon. King Alfred requests and demands the return of this errand subject of his. I sent Aba out of the room whilst my council deliberates. What should we do? So we could give them up, and this particular courtier would actually be closer to being a rival of ours. We could refuse. This doesn't seem to affect King Alfred's opinion of me. It's all... I wonder if that's a bug. Because this envoy is an irrelevant character, and the opinion bonuses here... Yeah, that's got to be a bug. Because you would think that this opinion bonus here would be given to my relationship with King Alfred, which is good, by the way. Which is nice to see. I wonder if we can look at that. No, it's nothing really to do... There's King Constantine's crown, but that's just the independent ruler opinion bonus. That doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Alfred was friends with Constantine. What I was looking for there is, I wonder if there's some opinion benefit because he was friends with our dad. But it doesn't appear that there's anything like that. So, give up Gloiken to Alfred, refuse to allow Aba to take Gloiken. Or we can disguise. We can gain some intrigue lifestyle for this. 99% chance. We'd gain some prestige. Yeah, let's go ahead and just play the game a little bit. This is one of the most interesting gains. 300 intrigue lifestyle experience. That could actually be useful. We successfully deceived Aba. You gained 300 intrigue lifestyle experience and 75 prestige. That's the other thing I kind of wanted was the prestige there. The next petitioner is evidently somewhat of a stranger in this court, as I do not recognize her, and the eyes of Marshal Haston have been on them since they first entered. My lord, I have come to declare that the people of Huntingdonshire are refusing to pay the taxes you have levied upon us. In times past, our land and people were granted rights and privileges which your recent exactions ignore. We request that you address our concerns fairly or else. Is there anything that would give me a higher bonus? All of these chances look decent. So there's a martial bonus there, an intrigue bonus there, a diplomacy bonus there, and a stewardship bonus here. But this particular chance is only 57%. All the rest of them are really quite good. Let's go ahead and trick the ringleaders into an ambush, because Donald does have high intrigue. There's a 95% chance of success, and this will change the control level by 20, as well as imprison the character. Yeah. Attacked revolt leaders ambushed and killed. Wow, Donald. That's one way to kick off your rule. So, servant of God, it seems my vassal Duke Wulfnoth has been nursing a temper while awaiting an audience. My lord, I cannot abide your tolerance of infidels like Sheriff Sturla and the realm, even amidst the nobility. God made his demands on us plain. Scotland should be a land of the faithful. Out with these Asatru dogs. So, we can say that he must convert, and a number of characters that look like they are subservient to Sturla would also convert, technically. And we would gain some dread as well, which dread at this point, as a new king, is good. Kind of keeps people in line, laying the law down, so to speak. By Odin, I now see the truth. That's, that's an alternative. We could just convert to that faith. We could say, I judge a man by their quality, not by their beliefs. Donald wouldn't like this. This would be a stressful thing for him to do, because he's compassionate. Donald does definitely have some issues at this point in his life, but he's a good guy. So, that option is cracking me up. But he is arbitrary, so in some ways, that would be hilarious, but it also is a little bit too random. Let's keep things a little bit more coherent. I judge a man by their quality, not by their beliefs. So, Duke Wulfnoth would lose 20 opinion, but Sheriff Sturla, who needs a little bit higher opinion of me, and he's our steward. Alright, so we just got an opinion bonus from that. Yeah, Sheriff Sturla now thinks more highly of me as a result of that. Okay, so what else can I do here? It looks like with the gold that I have, I might be able to create an additional duchy here. I just need to be mindful of the fact that, well, first of all, we can also usurp the Duchy of Mercia. Interestingly enough, which would allow us to declare war over that particular county in Wessex. I'm really interested in just gaining prestige and levels of fame, so we're about to reach illustrious with Donald here. Let's go ahead, we'll just stay in Ireland. We're going to create the Duchy of Connacht, and we don't have a lot of income right now, which is not ideal. Now let's take a look at who the rulers in this area are, and maybe we can give this title to one of them. So Earl Ariulf, Mormaer Cullen. Pretty good character. He's a rapacious villain, but like he's got stats to rule well. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, here we go. And then Siegfroth Iverson. He's a cowardly maniac. Well, that's one way to be, I suppose. So either we give it to the Compassionate Craven. I think probably the Compassionate Craven is the way to go here. So let's go ahead and grant the duchy, Petty Kingdom of Connacht. Grant title. Now, we are currently missing gold. We're going to have to go to collect taxes. As much as I want to finish this, we have 16 months, and we're not going to be able to, like, sustain that. Yeah, collect taxes. Because we're losing 3.5 gold per month right now, interestingly enough. What's the reason for that? Oh, he's improvident. Wow. Okay. So that's one of the downsides of having waited this long for Donald to ascend the throne. Because he's improvident. Also, what's this? Yeah, what just happened? You died and had a succession. Yeah, I know that we just had a succession. Maximum perk bonus reached. You reached the maximum bonus amount that a perk can give. Some perks, like Sound Foundations, have a maximum amount of skill points they can grant. While over the limit, the bonus will no longer increase and will not decrease until you're under the limit. I understand. Thanks for that. All right, so let's unpause for a second and see. Nice, your glory is widely known. We gained a level of fame. And it looks like some of the alliances we just arranged are being formed. To the implacable King Donald of Scotland, I suppose you thought that was terribly clever, disguising Cuthberg as Gloiken and trusting in the ignorance of my envoy not to realize it. I do hope that you weren't too fond of Cuthberg, though. It is a crime in the Kingdom of Wessex to impersonate a noble, and so she was put to death. Oh, that sucks. Welp. You and I are now enemies, damn you to hell. Shame about Cuthberg, at least she was useful. So, at least Gloiken approves. Oh no. Well, I mean, honestly, that kind of fits some of the coming events pretty well, because we're going to need to go to war with Wessex if we're going to have control over this entire territory. That's just a fact. The main thing we need to do, though, is... Hang on, let me take a look at this. You may pick a form of traditional elective succession based on your culture. Main thing we need to do is try and get rid of some of these negative traits that Donald has, and I don't know that we're going to be able to. He just waited so long to become king that he has adopted some sort of, let's say, coping mechanisms because of the stress of his life, despite being such an awesome character to start out. So this is a very interesting kind of ascent to the throne, because Constantine lived for so long that someone who was going to be an amazing heir is now, like, he's going to be good, but he's going to have problems too. There's going to be drama. So we've mostly kind of covered the transition here, and I think anything further that I do this episode will sort of start tiptoeing into, like, future events and what's going to unfold in the episodes to come. So this is a pretty good stopping point. I'm going to stop this one here. In the next one, we are going to let things continue, probably declare war, I would imagine, and try and gain some prestige by taking control of, like, Gwynedd. Also, how many men does Wessex have? What kind of claims can we fight for at the moment? Yeah, we have enough men just to fight Wessex in a proper war pretty easily. And then there's Ireland, of course. But we have a lot of territory to gain, and one of the reasons we'll have to do that sooner than later is that we have an income problem, and when we declare war, we'll have even more of an income problem. But that improvidence right now is less than ideal. So in any way that I possibly can. Are there any vassals that, yeah, I'm not their rightful liege. I'm basically going to need to continue to create those duchies so that I could be the rightful liege of some of these characters. Yeah, look at this. I have so many characters because that are saying I'm not their rightful liege at the moment because I haven't created the duchies sort of over them. Once that is resolved, we will be in a better position. But still lots to do management-wise, but there's going to be some drama, I would imagine, in the next episode or two. Also, we have a number of personal trinkets that we might be able to switch to. We'll take a look at that at the beginning of the next one as well. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For channel emotes and member badges, look for the join button to learn more. New episodes drop every day but Tuesday at 11 a.m. US Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.